So I don't know if you guys remember this first-person multiplayer shooter that dropped in 2011 called Breach, but it featured the world's most destructible battlefield. I mean, it says right there on the box. But before we get into what Breach was, today's sponsor is Opera GX, the completely customizable browser that is a really nice alternative to other browsers on the market that chug and take way too many resources. I've been using Opera GX exclusively for over a year now. You can customize everything from the look of the browser, the color scheme that it's using, the sounds that it has, and it also allows you to limit the RAM, the CPU usage, as well as the bandwidth that the browser is using to download things. You can also take advantage of what they call GX Corner. It keeps up with all the latest game releases as well as a deal aggregator, so you can get yourself the cheapest games and the best deals all in one spot at the front of your browser. It also has Twitch and Discord integration, so if you guys are watching the stream, being a part of the community, twitch.tv/BigfryTV, you guys can access all of that from one spot. You can also log into Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music directly from the sidebar using their GX player. If you guys want to check it out, support the channel directly and get yourself an awesome browser, the link is going to be down in the description below and the top pinned comment. Shout out to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to Breach. This game just jumped into my memory for the first time since I actually played it back on the Xbox Live Arcade in 2011. I just randomly thought about the destruction and how the game just kind of came and went really, really quickly, and you never really heard much more about the game or its developers, Atomic Games. When I went back to look and try to find what this game was with that crazy destruction, I remember seeing the trailers, jumping in and being excited about it, only to have the game die about 6 months later. It was made by the now defunct Atomic Games, which, if you guys don't know who that is, they were the original creators of 6 Days in Fallujah. They had partnered with Konami back in around 2009, and then that obviously went away, and now we're getting the remade version that's slated to come out later this year from a brand new development team. But the last game that Atomic Games actually released was this game, The New Breed of Destruction. Kotaku calls it on the back of the box, and apparently this game was pulled off of the Steam store back in August of 2011. Game launches in January. 6 months later, game's dead as fuck. Atomic Games goes dark, and the game just kind of disappears. But I found it really odd that Atomic Games actually still does have a website in which you can go and buy a copy of Breach, and it comes in a case with a disc and a Steam code, and you can actually play the game by hosting dedicated servers through Steam. And what you guys are seeing here on screen is Breach in 2021. I'm playing with a community moderator about that time, 420, and we just kind of ran around blowing shit up. This game's destruction, even though it came out after Bad Company 2 came out, it touted it as the most destructible battlefield, completely recalibrates the way you instinctively play a competitive FPS. Shout out to VG247 for that amazing quote. But the game actually featured some pretty cool destruction mechanics. There were some sandbags and like brick buildings around the maps where you could literally shoot out every single brick singly, or you could take, you know, a rocket or a grenade launcher and you could just blow open a hole in a roof or a wall. But I do remember distinctively jumping into that first game, shooting out a couple of bricks and watching the snipers on our team literally shoot at enemy squads that were crossing bridges and stuff. I remember being so blown away by how crazy the destruction was in this game. Yes, Bad Company had this blowing holes in walls with grenades and stuff like that, but this game allowed you to shoot out every single brick of a building singly if you wanted to, and I thought that was so fucking incredible at the time. In Breach, players take the role of Special Activities Division of the CIA, an organization that carries out black ops for the US government. And I'm not gonna lie to you, jumping back in, The game ages like milk. It's so bad to play now. It actually reminds me of a lot of the early access titles that I've covered on Steam, but there was something really cool about jumping in and finding this hidden relic that has been like lost to time, and actually being able to physically own a copy and be able to host a server and jump in with somebody in today's day and age, and just seeing how far gaming has come. It's been pretty incredible. We even found a Discord of people who are trying to like revitalize and revive the game and try to make people aware that this game still exists, that you can literally order off of their website. I think it's pretty amazing. And while I remember the destruction elements in this game being a lot bigger in terms of being able to literally like bulldoze an entire map, the destruction in this game in terms of like taking down buildings and stuff like that leaves a lot to be desired. Even like nowadays, this game really felt like the Wish version of Bad Company, and it definitely feels that way too looking back at it. And to make things even stranger, there's this weird third-person mechanic with cover in this game, which I feel was like recycled from 6 Days in Fallujah. Sometimes if you walk up to cover, you could hit X and your guy goes into this third person. You can like blind fire around corners, or you can aim. It was very weird and didn't feel good. I actually don't remember that mechanic being in the game way back when, which I guess is just a testament to how often it got used. But to me, finding out that like Atomic Games has now gone defunct, and with 6 Days in Fallujah coming back, the fact that this game popped into my head and we were able to actually like get copies and play it again, I just really wanted to make a video on this game and show you guys a hidden, I'd say gem from back then, but you know, it's kind of covered in dust and dirt at this point now. But when I first thought about Breach, it definitely brought a smile to my face. I actually couldn't even remember the name of the game itself. I just remember playing a game and being excited for this level of destruction on the Xbox Live Arcade. This game actually didn't even launch on the PlayStation Store. It was like a $15 blow 'em up experience. Definitely like I said, the Wish version of a Battlefield game, but definitely has its own little charm. And being able to look back at their marketing and their advertising and how all of these companies are just plastered all over the box, it's pretty phenomenal. The game features 5 maps in which 3 or 4 of them are basically all the same, just with like a different skybox and kind of different objectives laid around. But the map, like aesthetic and just the visual style, basically like this rocky cavern with a bunch of like valleys and bridges to cross. There was only really one map that was really that much different, and that was a map called Peak, which is this snow map you guys are seeing here. And to be honest with you, this map sucked, because all the buildings were metal and you couldn't blow through them. You couldn't shoot through them with guns. So it just kind of felt more like you were playing like an old Call of Duty map. But what I will say is, even though this game has been taken off of Steam, you can go to their website and you can purchase a copy for yourself if that's something that you wanted to do. Or you can just enjoy this one from the comfort of your home and live vicariously through me as I trudge through whatever the hell this game turned into. If you guys like this little look back, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content on tactical shooters, games like, well, hopefully better than Breach, and everything in between. With the impending release of Battlefield 6, destruction is on my mind, and I felt like this was a nice little throwback to a game that tried to kind of play with the big leagues and just ended up fizzling out of existence. My name is Bigfry. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.